tell me about the good old days. Sometimes it feels like
I've always loved hearing my grandpa's stories, but I visited him the other day for a specific purpose. I wanted to know more about the hows and whys of his unique life. So let me give you a little background on his life. He was born on February 15th, 1922 in Ozark, Missouri. He was the youngest of 3 children, and he grew up during a time when most families struggled to put food on the table, including his. He worked in the Civilian Conservation Corps for a small wage, and then enlisted in the Air Corps during World War II. He was stationed in France and England during that time. After the military, he was able to get an education. He doesn't remember the exact degree he holds, as it's been so many years. Something to do with agriculture, he says. That education led him to be an oceanographer that was hired by the Navy. He tells how he saw an announcement on the bulletin board at the post office that asked for an oceanographer. Well, he said he fit the requirements to a T, except for the fact that he had never worked in the ocean. So he applied and received a letter a month later stating he had got the job. He's still surprised that someone would hire somebody without ever meeting them. During his days working for the Navy, he went to the Arctic twice while they were mapping out places to put enormous antennas. Those were to help us know if the Russians were coming. He told stories about being in charge of finding out why some submarines had crashed, and also a ship that sank in the Gulf of Mexico. Later, he helped put the first weather satellites in space. He married and had 7 children, who then had children of their own. He even has 5 great-grandchildren. But I wanted to know more. I wanted to know more about why he wanted to do these extraordinary things. What drove him? I wanted to know why he came back to the Ozarks when he finally retired. I wanted to hear the exciting stories of his travels. And I did hear some. But I didn't get the answers that I had mapped out in my mind. He told about the things he had done, but not with much feeling, and not with the whys I had hoped for. However, his face and voice would light up when he would tell stories of his friends and family. Here's one of his stories that will make me forever smile.
There was a family down from Iowa, a bunch of kids, but one of them was about my age, but they kept wanting me to go hunting, and I said, well, I'll take you hunting, and we walked off down there to the little patch of woods, and sure enough, that dog treated a possum. And, well, it wasn't much of a climb. I climbed up there and threw it out. And when I did that, that kid had a rock in his hand, I didn't know it, and he threw it at him, at the dog and the possum, fighting each other. And that poor dog, but we took, what was really funny about that was on a Saturday night, and Sunday, they asked me a couple of times if I'd eat dinner with them. And I agreed, and all they had was a big bowl of possum. It looked good though. It looked, just like fried chicken. But it was greasy as could be. But it didn't taste all that bad.
As I sat listening to everything, it occurred to me that I was getting much more than what my mind had envisioned. I began to see that even though he might have been proud of his accomplishments, as I and the rest of the family are, what he truly cherishes are the memories of the good times with his friends and family. Grandpa had a difficult life in many aspects, and a privileged life in others. I've been thinking a lot about our conversation and the expectations I'd come in with, and I've had an epiphany of sorts. The difficult times make us who we are today, and the good times, well, they're what keep us going.